Hello, fellow Mindshifters. I am so excited to start this series of my channel, which will focus on essentially detoxifying your mind. Most of us know what we need to do to lose weight, to be healthier, to get a promotion, to improve our relationships in every other area of our lives. Why do most of us we're unsuccessful at doing those things? Is because our mind is sort of probably crowded with a lot of things as well as our lives. I will just give you a little insight into, again, what helps me get to the journey that I'm on is that I had to just stop. So this video, we are going to all do an exercise together, and I'm going to help you stop and really think about the hardest thing, at least for me, was who am I? What am I doing? Do I like who I've become? Who do I want to be? Those questions. So we're going to do an exercise together to get you to that point. So if you're listening to this video and you like who you are, wonderful. This may not be the video for you, but for anyone else who you are just going, and that was my life. I was so busy. I didn't have any time to really think about what I'm doing. I was like a robot, just trying to survive, getting my son to his activities, getting to work, getting to church, just go, 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 go. Anytime someone asked me to do something, I was there. I just tried to be everything for everyone. And so it came to a point where I cried out to God, and I was able to, He provided an opportunity where I got a job closer to home. And I'm like, I'm home. So now I can like hang out with my son, and we can go on walking trails, and we can do all these things together, and I can cook because I hadn't been cooking, and life is great. So I started cooking, more like kind of like Southern and sort of ex-Caribbean meals. So anyone who's familiar with those recipes, they're definitely not necessarily keto friendly. But I noticed that my son had his own life. That time that I was in a drone and I was a robot and I was just doing everything, he had actually, dare I say it, he has his own social life. So he would still hang out with me. We go to church, we have dinner, we have wonderful conversations, but I now found myself with a lot of free time. So I would fill it with like watching Redbox movies, or I had at the time basic cable channels, and I would just have the news reel on. As soon as I get in, throughout the night, it would just be on. So I got to a point where, I started the fitness challenge, and I started to, I guess, lose weight. So I was looking, slimmer, but I was still unhealthy. Like I said, chronic fatigue, very lethargic. I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia really bad. And I started to get all of these issues with my face. And I'm still on that journey to clear up my, the marks for my face. I got acne, rosacea, and just different skin tags. I just started getting things, just one thing after another at the same time. And it started to manifest on my face. So we started this class at church, which started that spiritual, what is my belief system? What do I believe? And I actually started to read the Bible. I'm a Christian, so that's what I believe. And sadly, I think a lot of us, we may believe something, but we're not necessarily following and practicing that doctrine. So I'm just giving you a little setup of sort of, where I was and how I got to this point and why I want to share it with you and how it was so helpful. I remember one weekend my son was with his dad, and I decided to just turn everything off. And at that point, I had already been like off social media for almost 4 years. It just turned that way. I felt very stressed out with social media. I felt like, I didn't like everything and I missed certain things and people would be upset. it started to be more of a job for me. Instead of me just being able to check in on my family and friends, I just felt like under pressure. Um, so for it, one day turned into a few weeks, and it turned into 4 years that I've been off of that particular platform. But what I realized is what I needed to stop. I need to stop and really think about my life, because I got to a point where I was blaming everyone for everything. And I felt like it was done to me. Like, why did I have the childhood that I have? Why did things happen the way they happened? Why didn't my romantic relationships work out? I just started to say, why did he do this? Why did they do that? And I'm going to be honest, I think for anyone that's experiencing heartbreak or things just didn't turn out the way you thought it should have turned out, I understand. The common denominator in that is you, is me. And I got to a point where I just turned everything off. So I called my particular TV company, and I was like, I just want internet. And we were going back and forth, but eventually it just gave me an internet package. So I don't have anything else. I don't have the TV programs. I never had the Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or anything like that. Uh, so I just stopped. I even stopped listening to, I got into watching certain YouTube channels that were encouraging or funny, and I stopped that as well. And what happened when I stopped is that I was able to look at myself in the mirror. And I had those questions: do I like who I'm seeing? And this is beyond sort of the physical, the outer shell. This was, do I like the person that I've become? And like I said before, if you've done this exercise or you really don't, have those type of thoughts, that is wonderful. But if you had sort of the answer that I have, it's like, I do not like who I am. I don't like who I've become. And again, this is outside of the physical shell or your hair, or or just that outer appearance. I don't like who I've become. So I'm going to give you some steps for what I call, the sort of a process, like a mental or mind detoxification is what I call media fasting. So you can get to that point. The first thing is to determine a length of time that you are going to fast. And I don't mean intermittent fasting as far as diet, or spiritual or Daniel fast as far as like your food, or I mean a social media / media fast. Determine a period of time where you are not going to post anything, check on anything, log in, tweet, whatever else as far as social media, as well as your TV shows. I know it will seem drastic for some, but that's what we need to do to start to stop. Stop all the noise, all of the, I don't want to say disruptions or distractions. We have to figure out that question of, do we like who we've become? Outside of your position or your role as a mother, a sister, a brother, a husband, a father, we have to stop. So I need you to, one, find time, set aside some time so you can do this exercise. Two, you need to write down. That's why I have my pen and paper right here. Write down, because this is almost like a contract to yourself. For one day even. One day, I would say go as long as 2 weeks if you can, or 30 days. I'm not going to be on social media, and I'm not going to watch any TV. And also I would include like the radio or podcast. I'm just going to be in the presence of me. When you do that, or when I did that, I mean, it was alarming. I found like, no, I don't like where my life is. I don't like who I've become. So what do you do after that? There are steps to go for after that. And I would say make sure you have like a piece of paper or a pen over that period of time, even if you journal every day, or just have something around that you can write on. I want you to do these things. I want you to write down what you don't like. Just jot them down. Write down, this is what I don't like. Then I want you to also have a list of things that you desire to either do, or areas in your life you want to improve, things about you that you want to improve. And this is all about you. I hope that's helpful. We'll continue in this series of, sort of like a mind detoxification, because that is the key. We have to have a changed mind. We have to refocus our mind. What I found is that people on the journey that I'm on, the fitness and wellness and health journey, they sometimes say, hey, Paula, you can just get this piece of cake, or it's just one drink, or, they're not being mean or anything, but to them, they don't understand sort of where I am and what I understand now that I'm actually reading my doctrine, the Bible, about the importance of renewing your mind. Why does it say to renew your mind? Because if all of us, we start to compromise, and then those little compromises become many compromises. And then at the end of it, you're so far away from where you had started. And it was just started with one small compromise. And that's why we have to constantly renew our mind. We have to renew our mind with edifying things, shows and music that edify our souls, that encourage us, cause us to laugh. Now, not the dramas and the reality TV shows that is entertainment, where again, we deflect from what's going on inside. So I hope that's helpful. As I said before, we want to change our minds. Then we can focus on changing the habits so we can have a changed life. I hope this video on mental detoxification and media fasting and the steps to do so is helpful in your journey. I will have a video on what to do when you actually have your list of, okay, these are things I don't like. These are things that this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I was born to do. This is what me being on purpose is. So my next video will kind of give you the steps for, how to take it from the mental shift to actually putting it into action. Have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, and thank you for watching.